GoFundMe page for a laptop for you.
I'm sure. I think we're live, and I can hear you. Speak for me.
You can hear me?
Oh, there we go. What was different this time compared to the first time, ladies and
I
gentlemen?
don't know, but we're live and we're good now, so let's do it. That's awesome. I'm glad you can hear me.
Amazing. We can, ladies and gentlemen. I did the exact same thing as I did last time, and it works. So we'll start again. Just pretend that nothing's ever happened, and here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 30 of Sundays with Craven, the live podcast where we always have a good old chinwag, and I will be doing just that this evening with Humble Stacker, who I'm honoured to be joined by. So Humble, for the second time, mate. How are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm doing great, my friend. Thank you for having me on. I'm totally honored. I really am.
Oh,
Thank you.
absolute pleasure, mate. We've spoke privately a number of times. It's been really nice speaking to you, and I've said to you for a while now that I'd love to have you on, and you have your own live as well, which I enjoy. I enjoy popping in and having a chat with you there. So it's great to sort of jump on a live together and talk about all the good stuff. But Humble, we are not alone. I think the numbers are a bit here and there because I've tried a few times. So sorry, guys, if you're trying to find where I am. But there is 12 people in here already, and I want to say hello to those people. So I can see Silver Serpents, I can see Nemo, I can see Muscles Shelley, and some of these names I'm seeing for the first time as well. So they may be coming over to see you, Humble, which is great to see. Ian Atterbury, the world's #1 sniper, great to see you. SBC, who says Atkinson's advert. I'm sorry, I think I clicked for there to not be ads during the show. If there is, I've pressed another button, but I'm really sorry. Shiny Silver, good to see you, mate. Crispy Shiny Things, you are always here. Thank you so much for your support. Who else have we got? East End Dave, Disco Dave, Brits and Subs. My friend, thank you so much. Nerd UK, and Humble mentioned this before. It's quite funny. Nerd UK says, I'm starting a GoFundMe for Craven to get a laptop. Yeah, Humble, I need to get a laptop, don't I, mate?
It does make life a little easier when it comes to streaming. Your camera quality is a lot better as well. And this is just a cheap $35 camera off of Amazon.
Yeah.
It does really well. So it does capture a lot of light, though. It does capture a lot of light.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, for what you said you spent, that's a really good looking quality camera. And I can see, well, it's a nice looking shiny silver pieces and other bits and bobs you got there laid out for us. I see an alien or two there as well. So we can have a look at that shortly. I can see more and more people coming over, which is great to see. What's going on here, guys? 2 seconds. Once again. Oh, it's a shambles. It's a shambles. We'll leave that there. Right. So, yeah, thank you to everyone that is here. And the conversation today, Humble, that I want to go into with you is this kind of question of right now, precious metals. What are gold and silver trying to tell us? I mentioned this to you before we went live. Of course, guys in the chat, as always, I want you to put your comments in and get involved in the conversation. I want to hear all your thoughts, and I've got some questions for you as we go through. There's a number of things going on in the world right now, Humble. We know that war is going on. We know war is expensive. We know that the governments, the banks, they are bigger stackers than us. They've been stockpiling gold by the tons. Their gold reserves, they're going big. They're going very big on it. And we know as well that supply and demand is hitting all-time highs. We are demanding more silver than what we are mining. In 2026, an article that I read, Humble, said that investor demand for silver is projected to be up by 20%. And if the supply is not there, that could mean the price is going up. But all these different things that we talk about every week. Last time when we spoke, silver was £70 per ounce, British pounds. Maybe you can let us know what the conversion in dollars is, Humble. And right now it's £67, so not much movement. But I think things will change. What do you think, Humble? I want to get your opinion on all of that. And guys in the chat, let us know.
Well, let's start off by saying we're all silver stackers, and you, especially being a newer silver stacker, has experienced this roller coaster this last year gone on. Now, I've been stacking for many years, as well as other people in chat as well. So this roller coaster is the norm, the ups and the downs, especially with silver. Just we're in a different level now, so the swings are bigger dollar amounts, whether they be $10, $5, $6, whatever the case might be. We used to be excited about a 50-cent swing. Now we're excited about a $5 swing. So just with stacking silver, there's always it's way more volatile than gold has always been. Is my audio okay?
Yeah, I can hear you clear. If I haven't seen anything in the chat to suggest it's not. Humble sound is echoey. So Raspberry says it's a little bit echoey, mate, but it seems okay to me.
Okay. Well, let me turn off my second device. Give me 1 second, really quick.
Yeah, of course. Take your time. I'm just looking at the comments whilst you do that. See everyone saying hello to each other. Yeah, guys in the chat, I have got a question for you that I want you to answer, because whilst we're talking about these things, and Humble was explaining the percentages of increases, pretty much, it's more the amount that silver is. Spot price is a lot more, so these swings are bigger if you look at it that way. But when did you start stacking, guys, in the chat? Let me know in the comments, because as Humble rightly said, I'm still really a newbie to this. I've learned so much. I've always been interested in it, but actually stacking has been like a year now for me. And as you know, the time I joined, silver was what, £22 per ounce, and look what it's done since then. It was at a high in January, I think £86. It's dipped a bit since, and it's slowly climbing again. But some of you guys will have seen all this before. Some of you, would have been invested in silver when it was like £12 an ounce. It's crazy.
How's my audio, Craven? Is it better?
To me, it sounds fine. We see what the guys in the chat are saying. Mute
Is it
YouTube.
still echoing?
Queen Nessie says mute YouTube.
I don't have YouTube on.
There you go. I'm not too sure. It honestly doesn't sound too bad on my end. So we'll have to just kind of keep an eye on that. 365, thank you, mate. 365 says both audio is spot on. So I think it's okay.
Okay.
We'll see how we get on. But yeah, just going to read some comments here, because whilst you were looking at the audio, Humble, I basically asked the guys in the chat about when they started stacking, and it's relevant because we're talking about changes now, these crazy markets. Some people, saw a time where silver didn't move for years, barely move, and now it's really volatile. I can see as we just scroll up, loads of comments through. Raspberry started last September, yeah, so you will have seen quite a big return if you started stacking early, to be fair, such as me, especially on the silver stuff. Who else have we got, guys? Sorry, this is a different format than I'm used to, so I'm still getting used to it. Michael says debasement of currency due to national debt, new world order forming, central banks buying gold in case of war. The central banks are buying gold, that's true, and war is expensive, war is happening, we know this. But yeah, 5 years, Jonathan Herbert, that's great. 5 years, yeah, you'd be quids in, I'm sure of it. But get the idea, guys. And going back to what you were saying, Humble, the swings now, when we're looking at the price of silver and gold, a 5% increase, as a percentage, is so much more monetary value. You know what I mean? Because the actual price of these metals is so much more. Silver isn't £20 an ounce anymore. Gold isn't, less than 2,000 an ounce. It's approaching £4,000 an ounce. And I don't know what the conversions are. I'm really sorry. When I'm saying these numbers, you'll have to say them in dollars for me, but you get the idea. That 5% is 10% of what it used to be.
Oh, yeah. And pounds, dollars, quid, whatever you want to call it, at the end of the day, it's money out of our pocket to buy silver, right? So whatever the conversion amount is, it's still a percentage basis. So for you, whether you're paying 60 pounds or now 70 pounds or 65 pounds or whatever the case might be, you remember a time when you were paying 25 pounds. I remember a time where I was paying $15 an ounce of silver, which is
Wow.
about 18, 19 pounds for you, right? Roughly somewhere in there. So I've stacked 3 times. This is my third stack.
Okay. So when you say you start, do you mean you've literally started again from scratch? You sold up and you started with nothing. Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, due to life circumstances, had to liquidate the stack, and it's gotten me out of some trouble multiple times. And this is my third time around. So imagine buying silver at $15 an ounce, and now spending 65, 70, $80 an ounce. It's a whole lot different than it used to be.
It is.
But
It's a good point to make, and I'm going to throw a twist in on that. I think you know what's coming. Before I do, East End Dave, Brits and Sovs says started in November 2018 when silver was £11 an ounce. Well done, mate. That's really good. Seol4 says, before I go, I swear Craven's door moved. Anyone sent him a spider yet? Yeah, thanks, mate. Cheers for that. The door didn't move. And Humble, you may have seen it on my previous lives. People keep telling me my door moves and there's figures and all this stuff. You silly buggers. It's
little
not happening.
paranormal activity going on at your place, Craven?
Something like that, yeah. Jonathan Herbert, I think I was buying 2 ounces of silver for £50. Yeah, that's very good. You wouldn't get that now. I've seen a comment from Robot Toaster as well. Where's that gone? Hi, Robot. I don't want to miss your comment, mate. 2011. So similar to you, Robot started a couple of times with stacking. It says started stacking in 2011 and then early 2025, the second. Well, that was a really good time to start again, Robot. Well done. Really appreciate the comments, guys. So we'll get you more involved as time goes on. But I really want to hear from our special guest because this is the twist I want to throw in. I spoke a bit last week, right, about economic uncertainty and same stuff. Government stockpiling gold. Just investment in these metals as a whole is going up. Supply and demand. Everything I spoke about leads towards a price increase over time. But as much as it's great having these conversations about spot price, what's going to happen, what's going on in the world that's influencing it, my point is this. As you establish, Humble, I've only been stacking for a year. So to me, and I've been thinking about this, I've come to this sort of conclusion. I don't really care what spot price is. And that's simply because, yes, it's interesting to follow the markets. Yes, it's interesting to predict, to talk about it. Different things. Look at options where you're not necessarily selling, you're trading from one to the other to sort of be better off. Some people like to do that. But unless you are planning to sell, I don't really care what the price does because it's a long-term hold. What are your thoughts on that, Humble?
Well, so the price of spot. Let's talk about this because you bring up an interesting point. So I'm a long-term hold. I'm 15 to 20 years down the road, and this is my savings account. It's long-term as well. It's done nothing but go up in value since I put it into silver and gold. But let's talk about that spot price. The only thing spot price does is limits the amount of silver I can buy when I buy. Because I'm not selling right now. So spot price, it being high or doesn't really interest me in a positive way. It interests me in a negative way in the sense that I can't buy as many metals as I want to. That being said, my stack is worth so much as it is. So do you want to devalue your stack to buy more metals? No, you stack on a schedule and you keep stacking because that's what every stacker does. You stack regularly, whether the price is high or whether the price is low. You're adding to that stack for a 15-year hold or a 20-year hold, or some people even a 25 or 30-year hold. This is a long-term way to not invest your funds but protect your wealth. The reason spot price is so high is all of our value of our dollars are dropping. U.S. dollar and everywhere else. The U.S. dollar is not becoming the world dollar anymore. And that scares a lot of things, and it scares a lot of markets. And the true value of silver and gold have still not really shown themselves, in my opinion.
No, I would intervene there and agree. I still do believe that both of these metals are undervalued and have so much more potential, specifically silver, in comparison to gold. That gold silver ratio, I still think it's going to get a bit closer in silver's favor. None of this is financial advice. You guys know that. It's just an interesting conversation. But the points you make there are really interesting, Humble, and you know, there's this currency debasement that you know, money is losing its value. Governments are printing loads of it whilst also stockpiling and filling up their gold reserves to pay for wars, to be in better positions, and all these things. The trust in fiat currency, money, pieces of paper is going down the pan. So I'm bringing this point in because when I say I don't really care what spot price is, it's a long-term hold. Behind that is this idea that I certainly feel strongly about, which is that even if I buy silver and it goes down 10, 20% or whatever, I still feel better holding physical precious metals as my form of currency than I do having cash in the bank, you know, digits on a screen, fiat currency, which we know, even if it's in an interest earning account in a bank, an ISA, whatever, it's losing value in comparison to inflation. And like you said, Humble, silver, gold, they are effectively, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a hedge against inflation. It's wealth preservation. And you'll be better off long term. Long
Yes.
term, the key bit there. So really interesting. And also, I just want to pick out the fact you said you started again 3 times now from stacking. There's a few guys that were commenting below who, and I think Robot was one of them, saying how he started once, started again. Did anything change in between those different times from when you started again? Did you take anything from the previous time where you were stacking before you sold up? Did you change your strategy? What did you learn? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Oh yes, yes. So before, when I was stacking whenever I felt I had extra money. Okay. So like if I felt I had an extra $20 in my pocket, I would go buy an ounce of silver, a couple ounces of silver, whatever the case. If I felt I had that. And the second time I started stacking, I was actually working at a bank, and somebody turned in 3 rolls of 64 Kennedys and 2 rolls of Morgans for face value. And I'm like, I can't pass this up. And that kind of started my second stack. This third time around, I found that when I feel like I don't have the funds for it, I actually do. That's just my brain trying to tell me that I can spend it somewhere else. And I've realized through this time around that I take all those times that I want to go buy the new shiny whatever, and I just invest it in silver instead. And this time around, I've got more to my stack, because if I put this in my savings, it wouldn't be here. You know, and this time around, I had gold in my stack, and the first 2 times I did not. So the fact that I've got gold in my stack, and I've got all these shiny, shiny, pretty pieces of metal to show off and hold, like you said, hold. I carry physical silver with me on a daily basis. I carry 2 pocket pieces. I carry a 1901 Morgan, and I carry this silver round.
I love that. So many people do that as well. A pocket piece. I know BBA loves to do that when he goes on his bike rides. He's always got a piece of him. A good old pocket piece. I know a lot of people that do that as well. It's good to see. And Humble, you mentioned there gold making its way into the stack. What do you prefer? And I'll say here before you answer that, I think personally, just an opinion, it's good to have both. So you're covering off both avenues rather than going all in on one as well. But do you have a preference? Would you, if you had to pick one, which one do you prefer? And I'll say that right now, you know, today, and for example, if you, I'll change the question. Sorry, if you had $1,000 right now to deploy on, has to be precious metals. How would you spend that? That's what I'd like to ask. And while Humble's going to answer that, guys, I've put him on the spot with a question. You guys as well below, drop a comment. You've got $1,000 or British pounds, wherever you're from watching this live. How would you spend it? I will stop and read through your answers on this. I'm really interested in what you've got to say. Yeah, Humble, you've got $1,000. How are you spending that? What do you prefer? What's your preference?
I'm going to buy 10 ounces of silver and a gram of gold.
10 ounces of silver and a gram of gold. What?
Yes.
Could you explain why you'd do that?
Now, the silver I would buy, though, first, let me explain, is going to be constitutional. That is going to be your bigger buy right now. So I would take $860 and spend that on constitutional alone. I would take the other 140 and buy a gram of gold. And the reason I say I would still buy gold is because, listen, I'm a silver stacker by heart, right? I'm true a silver stacker. But I stacked silver to get to the gold. And the reason I started stacking silver was because I couldn't afford the gold. Now I'm finding ways to afford the gold. So why not? It only goes up in value. Okay, so if I can keep adding to that stack on both sides, then I will every single time. Now I'll tell you, I stack fractional gold all day long, and I promote it all day. Okay, and I've actually I have half grammars, I have 1 grammars, I got 1/10, I got quarter ounces. I prefer fractional gold because if you had to negotiate it at the end of the day, and you only needed to negotiate $1,500 worth of gold, would you rather break up that full ounce or get rid of 3 1/10?
Yeah, it's a good point. Fractionalizing it makes it so much more liquid when it comes to sell. You don't want to chip away a whole ounce. You want to break it down a little bit because sometimes you're not going to need that much money. A comment I did see which caught my eye is Nemo, who said you ain't buying much with $1,000. That is true. I chose that amount because you do have to fractionalize. And being realistic, as Humble said, most people are going down the fractional route now. When it comes to gold, especially, people are looking at the 1 grams as a way in. Not many people are just going to go out there and buy a full gold sovereign or a full Brit gold, 1 ounce gold Britannia or Eagle. Something else I found interesting there, and then I'll read some of the comments of what people would do with the 1,000. Is you said, Humble, constitutional. You're a silver stacker at heart. That's what you said. I'm also someone that I really like the numismatic silver, the good stuff, the pre-decimal over here, sterling silver 925. I love the crowns, the half crowns, the florins. I love all of that. Why do you choose to stack that silver in comparison to bullion as a preference to you? Is it just because you can buy it at spot or less? How does that work on the US side?
So for me, it's all a matter of adding to the base stack, right? So you don't add constitutional because it's shiny. You add constitutional because it's adding to the base stack. And honestly, right now, it doesn't matter to me if the refiners are buying constitutional right now or not, because we've already covered that I'm on a 15-year, 20-year timeline. I don't care what they're doing right now. I care what they're going to do in 20 years from now. Okay, so the fact that I can buy more silver back at spot by buying constitutional, I'll stack that all day long. You're going to get more silver for your money. And if you don't have a good, decent base stack, and you're only buying silver stuff, or shiny stuff, you're more of a stack collector, right? Opposed to a stacker. A stacker should have blank rounds, blank bars, and all those stuff to his base stack. And then you add shiny stuff to keep the flavor going, because nobody likes looking at 90% silver dimes all day long. They like looking at nice shiny eagles or a pretty shiny Morgan, things like that. So, and I have a bunch of specialty silver out here. This is not investment silver. This is me blowing my silver to have something shiny made for me to keep the flavor going.
That's all part of the hobby. We're all guilty of that. At the end of the day, we talk investments, we get serious, we talk numbers, guys, but we all love this. It's a hobby as well. And I'm going to stop you there for a second, Humble, because I think it's only fair I look what some of the other guys in the chat, 36 of you, hit the like button if you haven't already. What would you have done with that 1,000? So, Raspberry Hedgehog says, I'm buying gold. Just straight up, whatever gold she can get. That's a good plan. Gold Sovereign says, Bada. If I butchered that, I'm sorry. Queen Nessie says, silver. You're just going in on the silver. Interesting. Robot Toaster would buy gold sovereigns right now. I think gold sovereigns are pretty much at that £1,000 per gold sovereign right now, which is crazy. They might be just below that, but they're certainly not far off. Jonathan Herbert, if he had £1,000 or dollars, he would get 70% gold, 30% silver. Okay, hedging your bets on both sides, but more gold. Glass Velo would buy 100% silver, and if it was 10K, then it would be gold. Okay, so you would change what metal you'd go for depending on how much money you had. Interesting.
That is
Nemo,
interesting.
it is. Nemo's saying that he loves some US 90%. Yeah, the constitutional stuff that Humble stacks. Absolutely. There's quite a few comments here, Humble, so I'm going to keep going. I'm really interested, guys, and thanks for sharing them. Ian Atterbury, the world's #1 sniper. I would spend it unwisely, pay more than I should on items of shiny like that I like. And this is the thing, right? We're all, it's like a guilty pleasure. You're going to do the right thing most of the time. If you're in the UK, such as me, you're going to try and buy those Britannias, those sovereigns, and get the best premiums, capital gains tax exempt, bullion, silver. But occasionally you got to treat yourself. You know, you do. Like that silver skull that you showed, Humble. That was a treat. It wasn't investment silver, was it?
No, like this turtle that I made. I had Cartier Silver pour this for me, and I put it in some copper coral. So I have a sea turtle swimming over copper coral. You know, that's 2.5 ounces of silver that I made. I had somebody make into an art piece for me because I like it. It's shiny and it's pretty, and it's my metal. At the end of the day, it's fine. It's like, you know, it's my savings account. If I want to turn it into this, then I'll turn it into this. It's better than buying that TV that I don't need, or the shiny watch that I don't know I'll never wear. You know.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying not to sneeze there as I was listening. That is a beautiful art piece, by the way. I love stuff like that. The copper coral looks really nice. So thank you for showing that. There's still a few more comments here, Humble. I'm going to keep reading it and kind of get your opinion on them.
Please.
Because I think it's a great question to ask. If you had this money, what would you buy? And what would you buy right now? Because I could ask you this again in 6 months, and guys, it could change. Could change in a week, to be honest with you. Crow Dragon Pirate says, random thrift shop jewelry right now. Interesting. Very interesting. Jewelry, I see that quite a lot, like the silver chains, the gold chains, that kind of stuff. It's fairly popular. See, like the 9-carat gold chains as well, which I don't know a lot about, but different options. It's not necessarily bars, coins, you know, different ways of getting into precious metals. If it's a good price on the metal, it could still make sense, no matter what it is. Michael Will says, a sovereign or a 1/4 ounce gold Britannia. Nice. Now, CL4 Hordian, you can always rely on him to put in a cheeky comment. He says, knick-knack stocks and shares with $1,000. You're 100x your investment, lol, after Craven gets sponsored. Do you, Humble, do you have knick-knacks in the US?
Knick-knacks, as in like treats and snacks?
Well, they're actually over here what we call crisps. You call them chips, right?
Yeah, we have chips here.
Yeah, so chips, but knick-knacks are a particular type of chips, if you would, crisps. And they do these different flavors. They're really, really nice. Have you ever tried a knick-knack?
I have not tried a knick-knack.
I need to send you a mail call because, buddy, I have got your poker chip, which I'm really happy. Thank you, Raspberry Hedgehog Melody, for sending that over to me. I need to get some stuff back over to you, mate. There's a few people waiting on a poker chip off me. I'm so behind. But when I send you a mail call, whenever that is, Humble, I'm going to send you a bag of knickknacks, okay? And I want you to let me know what you think, because I'm always going on about
I will. I
them.
Raspberry sent me some treats when she sent me the last package, which was pretty cool. She sent me a bunch of cool stuff like this poker chip holder.
Oh, I need one of those.
Chris made it on his 3D printer, and it literally holds all my poker chips in it. And I got more poker chips coming and more stickers coming, so I'll have some more stuff coming out to you guys in the UK here soon too.
Perfect. Can I just quickly ask, have you got by any chance, like a TV on in the background? Is that
Skylar, can you turn that down, please? Thank you.
getting
Sorry
people
about
in
that.
trouble here, guys? No, it's okay. I just think that because the audio is fine on mine, but just then it sounded as if it's potentially coming from a TV. So hopefully that's all it was, if that's gone down a bit. So thank you, and sorry to Skylar if they were enjoying the TV and we could ruin that.
It's all right. She's got headphones she can wear.
There we go. Perfect. I'm going to read some more comments and I'm going to move the conversation somewhere else, guys. So Nemo's Numismatic says he was checking out his peace dollars today. I know he's got quite a few of those. He pretty much loves any coin in the world. I think Nemo is trying to collect every coin that's ever been minted, made in the entire world ever of all history, from what I've seen. But yeah, peace dollars. A quick question for you, Humble. Peace dollars or Morgan dollars? Which one do you prefer?
I'm sorry, what was that, Craven?
Do you prefer peace dollars or Morgan dollars if you had to pick just one?
Morgan.
Morgan, okay. Defied, I would go for peace personally, but it's all preference. There's no right or wrong. Defied says,
silver. I like the historical value of the Morgan over the piece. The fact that the Morgan I'm holding in my hand, Buffalo Bill could have thrown on the table for a bet, or Jesse James could have stolen out of Stagecoach. That means a lot more to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that is something that really stands out as this added value, especially to numismatic pieces, is the historic value. It's why I love sovereigns over a 1/4 ounce gold Britannia, to say, because of the history. Who knows what exchanges that's been involved in, whose hands that's been in, where it's been. It's very, very interesting. It's a good answer. So Defied, a comment I was going to read there, says £1,000 would go 90% into an all-world ETF and maybe 10% gold/silver. Okay, so you're heavy on the stocks and shares, which we spoke about a little bit last week, potentially outperforming metals over a long period. We'll have to see. Shares in Jacobs, yeah, Nessie, I agree. Read a few more, then we'll move on, guys. So Jerry Mandarin says, Will, it may have gone up in order and value for good amount of time in terms of purchasing power and nominal value. Yeah, purchasing power is a big point here with metals, is that you keep your purchasing power at a minimum. It's a hedge against inflation. Would you agree, Humble? Rather than looking at it as a profit, it's just that everything over time gets inflated, and that gold sovereign or whatever it is will get you the same, if not more, most likely, than what it would when you bought it if you hold on to a long period of time, rather than just seeing it as a profit, because everything around it, circumstantially, the price of everything goes up too.
For sure. At one point, this silver dime could buy a gallon gas or 2 gallons of gas. Right now, if I went and turned it in, this same silver dime can buy me 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons of gas. I mean, that is the whole point of it, is you're hedging your funds, you're hedging your money against inflation. The fact that silver and gold hold their value long term is that hedge. And when you stack, you're not only just turning your money into metals and hedging that, you're also giving your brain that endorphin or flush of the chemicals that it needs for when you buy something. It's that happy feeling that you get when you buy something new and shiny or just buy something. So you buy your money, you buy metals with your money, you're double dipping, you're stacking, and you're washing over the brain with the chemical that you like to buy stuff with. It's a win-win. So I want to bring something up. I had somebody in my chat, and I've had people in my chat talk about this multiple times, how they're not buying, they're in a holding pattern. So let me explain what that means to me. What does that mean to you, Craven, when somebody says they're in a holding pattern?
It means that they're essentially content with the stack that they have. They're not necessarily accumulating more silver or gold. They're sitting on what they have, maybe watching the markets. That is my understanding of somebody that's holding. They're not buying or selling, they're just holding what they've got.
Yes. So somebody, in my opinion, who is holding is not a stacker. They're an investor. Okay? A stacker stacks regularly, and it doesn't matter what the price is. They're constantly adding. If somebody is in a holding pattern, they're an investor. And there's a big difference between the two. And it can be very easily convoluted thinking that you're a stacker if you're actually in a holding pattern, because you're not stacking, you're investing. And is silver the best investment for somebody, really? Because it's not an investment, it's a long-term hold.
That's a really good point that you make. I couldn't say what the exact answers are on that because, once again, I'm not here to give financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But the point that I always stress with whether it be silver or gold, but predominantly silver, that's literally the majority of my stack, like 90% of it. I just love physically holding it. It's wealth in my hand. That's what it's all about for me. Whether it's the best investment, I don't know. But as you said about stacking, steadily accumulating more and more, watching that stack grow over time, it makes me feel good. It's progress, and I enjoy it. It's a hobby, and that's where the hobby side sometimes leads me to buy some premium pieces, some collectibles. There is, I think, within all of us, there is a collector side. There is. You'll pay a bit more for that piece just because you want it. It's got a low mintage figures, or it's just a more premium piece. You look at the design; it's desirable. It's shiny.
Yeah.
We're like magpies sometimes.
Yep.
So yeah, really, really good point that you make. And I just want to say hello as well in the chat. CY Sterling, thank you for joining in, mate. It's good to see you. I see some mentions of Berlin, World Money Fair, which I was due to go to and I missed. Have you ever been to Berlin, Humble?
No, I have not. I've never actually been to that side of the pond. I want to. It's definitely on my bucket list. I have a bunch of people I want to stop by and see if I ever do make it over there.
Absolutely, me too. I was devastated that I didn't make it. I made it to the airport, but instead of getting on a plane, I took a journey in an ambulance to the hospital and was told I couldn't fly. But yeah, never mind. I will be there next year. Fingers crossed, touch wood, and hope to see many of you guys at the Berlin World Money Fair next year, because that'll be so cool. So let's ask a different question, because we spend so much time talking about silver and gold. I want to give a quick shout out here to a different metal, and I mentioned it last week. I think I'm going to be speaking more and more about it. I saw it on one of I believe it's Blue Collar's videos, one of his shorts. He showed 1 gram of this platinum. We talk about silver and gold all the time. Just what do you think? I won't ask anything more than what do you think, Humble, and guys in the chat. What do you think about platinum as a metal to invest in? Tell me your thoughts. I want to talk about that for this next little short segment. But Humble, do you own any platinum? Have you ever owned any platinum? What do you think about it?
I have owned platinum. I don't own any platinum right now. Actually, the last platinum piece I bought was a 1 gram piece for $43. And I ended up giving that to a person on Whatnot in one of my shows. So platinum's never, and that was stupid on me. So let's just call that what it is. I should have held on to it, but I didn't. I don't have enough silver and gold in my stack to put money to something that is as much speculative, if not more, than silver right now for me. Now, there are platinum pieces out there that are stamped $100 value, and there's gold pieces out there that are stamped $50 value. So platinum at one time was valued twice as much as gold.
Well, isn't platinum actually a rarer metal on the earth? There's less of it than there is gold. Is that right?
Yes, that is a fact. There is less of it. It is more rare, but the uses of it are a lot more limited.
That's what I would assume. Yeah.
Right. So it's not an investment metal; it's an industrial metal. And here's the rub on platinum, you guys, and a lot of people don't realize this. Platinum and palladium can be substituted for each other. So it would be Humble's luck that I would buy platinum would crash, and palladium would skyrocket, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I don't have enough money to put into that much speculation.
Yeah, and the first comment I saw when I posed this question from the chat was from Nerd UK. Just because all I asked was, "What's your opinion on platinum, guys?" And he put one word: risky.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, from what I see, platinum, there are high premiums on it. It's taxed. It is expensive. I just don't see it very often. People don't talk about it, but it's a precious metal, and the market does do some crazy things. We've seen the price change of platinum, so I was interested to hear. Some guys in the chat, I think it was Nemo, saying he would rather stack copper. I can hear sort of some feedback, Humble, on your end. I can sort of hear myself. I don't know if there's anything changed.
I hear a little feedback when you talk, but that's okay. I'm okay. Can chat hear us clearly? Because that's all that really matters. Because I can hear you okay.
That's fine. Let us know, guys, in the chat if there is any feedback at all. But yeah, let's have a look. So many comments. Yeah, wondering about copper. We got it. CY says I have a tiny 1 grain bar, or maybe 1 gram, 1 grain. Not sure. That'll be platinum. Yeah, small amounts. And I think where was it? Ian Atterbury saying he doesn't own any platinum. He wants a few grams just to say I have it. Yeah, I think it's one of them. I think we're all a bit like that sometimes. You just want to have a bit of it. You know, I've got some 1 gram somewhere. Mr. E says you need plutonium for 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah, 1.21 gigawatts. That's what you need for to create time travel for the flux capacitor. Back to the Future, the DeLorean, the time machine, the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
You need plutonium to create the 1.21 gigawatts. Yes, I followed you on that one. I got you, buddy.
Well, I'll be honest. When I read it, I'm glad you stepped in because it went completely way over my head. TFT says it's a movie reference, Craven. Sorry, bud. I was away with the fairies there, but that's interesting. I was reading it like, oh, here's some really interesting like facts. You know, I had no idea. So that's great. Guys, I'm going to throw something in here. If you are in this chat right now, 42 of you watching live, thank you so much. I am doing a giveaway this evening because of I can hear the cogs turning in Caravan Head. Yeah. CY says, I think that one went over Craven's head. It did. Craven is too young for the 80s. Yeah, that's it. So I'm doing a giveaway tonight, guys. I didn't do one last week on my comeback podcast, but I'm going to quickly show you. I'll whiz through what's going to be given away. It's stuff donated by you guys, which I've got loads of, and one of you is going to win. And the way we're going to do that, before I went live, Humble, can you just confirm? I asked you to give me a number between 1 and 30.
That is correct, and I did give you a number, and you wrote it down and folded it up on a small white piece of paper.
Yeah, so we don't have Little John's Wheel of Wonder. It's currently going through some technical issues. It'll be fixed and back up running soon, guys. But we do have this. And on this scrunched up note, there is a number. One number between 1 and 30. And the way I'm going to do it is when I say go later on, so stick around a little bit. First one to get that number will win the big prize, okay? And then you can have as many goes as you want, but it's the first one. And as Silver Serpent says, thank you for joining. Smash the kike button, the kike. Smash all the buttons, guys. If you can hype it, if you can like it, I appreciate all of it. Thank you so much. So I'm going to quickly show you what's up for grabs, and then we'll move on and continue the conversation, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, Humble. And I appreciate, I really do appreciate you coming on because it was spontaneous. Last minute and unexpected. A little message I received off you. I appreciate you being here, man.
Oh, for sure, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, anytime, mate. So people are already putting numbers in the chat. I don't know why you're doing that, guys. I haven't. You don't even know what the prize is. I haven't said go, and I won't be saying go for a little while either. So yeah, any numbers you put in, whether they are right or wrong, they don't count. So this is what you can win. So we have a Stacker Social 2K poker chip, which is actually the Brits and Sods limited edition one, which is really cool. I also have a Stacker Social 3K poker chip, which has the tattoo bot on the back. That is limited edition. I got these last week, so we're going to start giving them away. Thank you so much, and shout out to Shiny Silver. He has sent his poker chip. There we go. That is in there. Really nice. I think this is the last one. I've been saying this loads. I don't know if you have one of these at all, Humble, across the pond, but this is the Stackamon Pokemon limited edition poker chips. Few people do or don't have these.
I do not, but that is an awesome chip.
There you go. That has to be. So I got distracted by the chat then. Sorry, but yeah, it's a really nice chip. I got this last week, courtesy of Queen Nessie. Thank you so much. This is two-sided poker chip, and there we go. That will be in there for you. SBC Scottish Bullion Collector. Here's a lovely poker chip. There we go. These are all two-sided, and your original Stacker Social poker chip with the QR code there on screen, which takes you straight through to the Stacker Social Discord group.
That's a lot of currency you're handing out there, because I know that poker chips in the UK are like quid. You know, they mean a lot. There's quite a bit of street cred right there.
It's serious money, you know. It's CY needs a 3K to complete his set, so you need to get to the right number shortly, CY. Nemo needs a 2K, 3K, and a 4K. Yeah, they really are very popular, and people look after them. I've also got, it's in a bag here. I'll take it out. There's a couple more poker chips. But you are right. Poker chips are very, very popular here, and I need to get some more of mine made. This one I really like. This is the Ice and Fire poker chip. That design is really cool, isn't it? On the back.
That is a really cool chip.
Yeah, part of the community, such as so many others. That will be in there as well, guys. There is a Stacker Social merch bag with a keyring, a wristband, that kind of stuff. Really, really cool. That was sent in from Brit and Sobs. He sent me like 30 of them, so I've still got plenty more. This is from Ice and Fire. I'm not taking credit for this. It's small, but it's a reminder of, you know, you got to start somewhere. Guys, there is the trusty, it's a bit reflective. I might take it out the pack, but that is a 1 gram silver Val Candy up for grabs. There you go. What can you say? But there is more silver up for grabs, guys. So this is in a lovely see-through pack. This has got a Silver Stag Stacker poker chip, his limited edition sticker. And what's that there? That is a 1/10 silver Britannia up for grabs. There we go. It's getting better all the time. Right, I'm going to flash through these. So we have some stickers. So we've got Crown Cast Silver. We have got Queen Nessie. We have got 365 Days of Silver. Sorry about the reflection, guys. You can't see any of this. But there you go. That's a really cool business card. A Stacker Social original sticker. We have, he's in the chat. He's watching live. He loves the poker chip. Nemo's Numismatics. Check out his channel. Really good stuff. That is his business card. He's in the chat as well. The Sniper, Ian Atterbury. You don't want to bump into him on a Monday night on whatnot. Israeli Coins. We have a sticker from Israeli Coins. I think that was sent to me in like a spares pack, duplicates from BBA. So thank you so much for giving that away today. Another one of Ian Atterbury's stickers. I've got loads of guys, so I'm putting these all into one big bundle here tonight. And hopefully you like it. I know a lot of you guys do appreciate the stickers, the poker chips. It's all good fun. Liquid Metals sticker. Really, really nice stuff that Liquid Metals does as well. He's making a custom round 1 ounce silver, which will go, I've sent in the design. You guys have seen it if you're in the fantasy football group that I run in Stacker Social. The winner of the Fantasy Football League will win that along with a 1 gram gold bar. It's exciting stuff. Seolforhordian. These are really cool. Sorry, the reflection is dreadful. But yeah, Seolforhordian sticker. Now, this one. You're going to start to see more and more of these guys. But this is the limited edition Little John SWC sticker.
Nice.
There you go. Not many people have those. That snuck its way in there. Ice and Fire limited edition business card. I absolutely love those colors. Really vibrant, really cool. Along with one of his Ice and Fire stickers. Nearly there, guys. Scottish Bullion Collector's sticker. That's nice and big. Love that. And Brits and Sobs with 2 stickers as well. So that is all being given away shortly. And yeah, I look forward to seeing who wins. What do you think about that for a little community giveaway I put together before this?
That is a monster swag pack.
It is. It is. As Humble said, guys, these poker chips are like currency. And I could really do. You said that Raspberry sent it to you. The poker chip holder. I should not have done that hand signal. But you know what I mean. Yeah, that's amazing. I really could do one of those.
Yeah, well, she sent it, and I didn't realize what it was. She had some sweet treats that were in here, and I thought she sent this so they didn't get smashed in shipping, right? So I took them out, and I kind of set this off to the side in the box, and she's like, "Did you get the chip holder?" And I'm like, "The chip holder?" She's like, "Yeah, it holds the chip perfectly." And I'm like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." So then I talked to her, and she showed me what it was, and I'm like, "That is amazing," because I have quite a few chips. And it'll hold quite a few. It's only half full. So it was a pretty cool thing. Chris made it with his 3D printer.
Wow, it is. I think I really would like to get one of those because I have all of my community poker chips that are mine personally. I have in a big see-through bag, and I'm not joking. It's massive. It is huge. I have so many. There's got to be at least 100 in there because when people kindly donate stuff to me to give away, they always say you can keep one yourself. So I've done quite well in that sense. But Shiny says Craven. Yeah, you saw that. I'm not going back to that Shiny, but if you know, you know. Defo being on the sunbeds in his mankini. If that's in a reference to me, I haven't, but that's funny. CY says, awesome giveaway bundle. Thank you. It's all credit to you guys that send me stuff. It's not me. I just get the pleasure of putting it all together, adding a few bits in myself, and running a giveaway. So Defo or Sunlight. I'm not sure what's going on. Is it because I'm really red? I don't know.
Your cheeks and your face is really red. You're pretty rosy right now.
Yeah, so, I'm a rosy guy. What can I say?
Yeah, it looks like you spent some time out in the sun recently.
You needed more Nemo poker chips to give out. I don't think I have any more. You sent me a massive box ages ago, Nemo, and they have all been distributed. So yeah, along with the business cards as well, mate. So yeah, I really appreciate it. So this is what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to move the conversation over to the live chat in the sense that I want you guys to put some questions down below. Some really good questions. Oh, thank you, Nemo. Appreciate that. Blood pressure, Craven. Yeah, I know. Guys, I told you I've been ill. I'm still recovering. What can I say? But yeah, I want you guys to now put some questions in the chat, whether that be for our special guest this evening, Humble Stacker. I do always have rosy cheeks. Sorry, Humble. I get so thrown off by the chat, and especially now doing this on StreamYard. They keep popping up and it distracts me. But yeah, I want you guys to put some questions in the chat, and they can be for Humble or myself, and we'll have a good old chinwag, and then we'll move on to the giveaway before we wrap up. And also, Humble, have a think, because I'm going to bring back a tradition I used to do, which was leaving a question for next week's special guest. So before the end of the stream, you have time to think. Think of a question which you can give to me on this live, and I will ask next week's special guest, okay? It can be anything. It doesn't have to be precious metals. It could be, we've had as deep as what's the meaning of life. So just do whatever you want. Go crazy. Have a think, okay?
Okay.
TFT says, question, what's your EPL team? Go. My EPL team, I don't know if everyone here wants to hear that, but whatever it is, it's not doing very well. I think I'm like 10th in the league, TFT, so it's not worth hearing about. Here comes some questions. Gerrymandering, this is I'm going to answer this first, and then Humble, I'll come to you. So these are the real questions. So gerrymandering, what's the best pizza? I personally think like anything that's like barbecue chicken or meat feast, anything that's barbecue based with cheese stuffed crust, with all the meats on, bit of spice, you're doing well. What do you think, Humble?
I'm a meat lovers fan.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
you just can't go
Yep.
wrong. And just to add in, you've got to have some garlic and herb sauce too, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So, I used to make pizzas at one time throughout my career. I mean, I'm old, so I've done some pizzas. Um, Garlic Alfredo sauce with chicken um, is really good. I don't do fruit on pizza. A fruit should be in a pie, not on a pie. So that's the same that I like to say. Uh,
So no ham and pineapple then for you, my friend.
no, no, I'm a meat lovers fan.
There you go. That's interesting. I should call this the snacking with Craven segment, not the stacking with Craven, because we always talk about food here. Right. So, question from flying through. I love to see this, guys. We'll whiz through these humbles. So, TFT question for humble stacker: what was the one thing that tipped the scale to get you to start stacking? So, the very first time, what made that happen for you?
Um, so for me, it was my I'd say my first year living on my own. Um, you're always told, before I graduated high school, I had to pass a personal finance class. So put money in savings, pay your bills, do all those things that you need to do. If you didn't pass that class, you didn't walk, right? You did not get your diploma. So, you know, those things taught me that I needed to make sure I saved. So the first year I lived on my own, couldn't save for nothing. Could not save for nothing. Then I had somebody who was just an older guy ask me about investing in gold. Gold was $300 an ounce.
Nice.
Okay, $300 an ounce. Now, did I have an extra $300 lying around? No, but I bought the next metal I could, which was silver, and I just started stacking. From that point, I watched the $9, $10 per ounce silver I was paying at the time when I was 20. You know, just build and grow. And when I had to buy safe, I started realizing that it was more serious than I thought it was going to be. And that's what tipped the scales for me.
That's a really interesting backstory. And just quickly from my side, has it always remained the same that yes, you saw gold, you started with silver because it was an affordable entry point as a metal, but the goal has always been to work your way, whatever you stack, to gold as sort of the end goal. Gold is what you want to work towards no matter what. Is that still the same?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm a silver stacker by heart, but ultimately it's because I could never afford the gold like I wanted to. So you stack silver, so one day your GSR gets to the point where you can trade in all that silver and get to the gold. I mean, let's be real. That's is preservation of wealth, right? Silver speculative. It goes up and down a lot. Gold holds its mud. It just traditionally just goes up over time.
It does. It stands its ground in times of economic uncertainty when the chaos is happening. Gold makes its way through like it always has historically. And the last question before I move on to the others from the chat from my side on this is, with that in mind, what you've just said, really interesting answer. At what gold to silver ratio do you think is optimal to trade your or some of your silver up to gold?
Well, I've talked to a lot of people, and I had a set goal in mind at one point, and that was 50, right? But we dipped below that. And I had silver in my car. I was at the LCS, already set up over the phone, called a friend of mine in Florida, and he's like, well, I mean, if you want gold, just go buy gold. Why trade in your silver for gold right now? It's going to go up. It's going to get better. I mean, we're on a run right now, and it's the beginning of the run. So why would you trade it in now? And just to let you know, I started up my car and I turned around and drove home.
Nice.
I did. I started my car, turned around, and drove home. Now, have I added to my stack since then? Of course, I stack regular. You know, but knowing that what silver's going to do, I predicted that silver's going to be at 200 an ounce by the end of the year. you know, we're at the
But
beginning
by
of
the end of 2026,
Yep, yeah, yep. And
I
I think gold's going to be in the $6,200-$6,500 range.
right. I'm gonna stop that conversation there because it's so exciting. We get on into it every single week. We'll do some predictions at the end. We'll come back to that because there's some really good questions. But I'll talk all things predictions, gold and silver, and find out more of why you think that, and my predictions later. But we'll come back to that. So patiently waiting, guys. Thank you, Ian Atterbury. Question for Humble: what are your thoughts on gold backs, and have you used them to purchase anything? That's a good question.
Goldbacks. Let's talk about goldbacks. Goldbacks are not stacking material, in my opinion. The premium is outrageously high.
Yeah.
And if you're a stacker, you avoid premiums. So why would you stack something regularly that has such a high premium? I mean, you're talking $750 to $800 for a 1/10 ounce goldback, when you can walk into your LCS and pay $550, have it, and walk out the door with it. You know, it makes no sense to me to go that route. I have some. I haven't bought them. They were giveaways. They're pretty hard. I haven't purchased anything with them. I live in a state that doesn't use them as currency right now. Um, if I needed hyper fractional gold later in life, I will definitely look into getting some. But right now, I don't think I'll ever need it.
Yeah, and I love that phrase as well, hyperfractional, because it really, really is. It's such a small, minute quantity of actual gold within these gold backs. And look, realistically, they're not ideal when as an investment piece. But are they cool? Yes. Are they nice and shiny? Are the designs really nice? Yes. The only ones I've ever owned, I've won from giveaways, and I've given them back to the community through my giveaways. But good on you if you've got some. But in terms of an investment, I agree with what you said, Humble, completely. So next question is from Mr. E, who says, what would you buy right now if you have the fiat available to invest in your future? It's not addressed to either one of us, so we can both answer it. Do you want to go first, mate?
Sure. For me, it would be more metals. I'm not into crypto. I could see putting some money in gas. If I had the money in the market to play with, I would even and stay with me here. I would trade copper. And the reason I would trade copper on paper is because copper has grown substantially over this last year, and it will only grow more in the future. Now, holding physical copper and stacking physical copper, no. The premium is like 458% on a $2 copper round. Why would anybody in their right mind pay that for copper? Okay, but if it's being given to you, take it, set it aside. It's pretty, encapsulate it so it doesn't get all buggered up over time. But buying it and spending money on it physically, not the right way to go. On paper, with a certain amount, would be fine, but it's in the market, okay, and it's not something that I would rush to. For me, it's silver and gold.
That's a really good answer. And I also completely agree with you about copper. I think the designs on, say, like copper rounds, like there's an Aztec one, which is amazing. They look fantastic on copper, but the premiums on, say, copper rounds, stuff like that, very high. But if you're going physical, if you're going digital, investing into copper, yeah, that's because very cheap considering.
Very cheap.
It's only going to go one way over time. Yeah. I've never really thought about that. That's interesting. Maybe that'll be thought about more and more as time goes on, and across the board, metals go up, and all of a sudden, people are like, "Oh, hang on, copper's sort of getting a bit interesting now as well." We're starting to look at that more. We'll have to see. Time will tell. But there's loads more questions, and let's see what they're saying. So Ian asked me just with a comment saying Jerry, ham, and pineapple. That's about the conversation about pizzas. So we won't open that wormhole about pineapple on pizza just now. But thanks, Ian. Queen Nessie, it's not a stacking question. just a generic question. Favorite president, and you can keep this to a just a name if you want. I don't really go into politics too hard on the channel, but yeah, favorite president.
Clinton.
Okay, there we go. Right, so oh, I can see a super chat's come through. What is this, Mr. E? £5. Is there a comment with that? I can't see, but thank you so much. I really appreciate the super chat, Mr. E. Thank you so much, and thanks for being here. That's very kind. And yeah, I've absolutely lost where I was in the comments, but thank you so much, mate. Here we are. So yeah, CY Sterling. I just tried to move away. This is brilliant. You know, I just said that we won't go into the pineapple on pizza thing. The next question is from CY Sterling, who says pineapple on pizza, yes or no? I'm going to say no, but if that was, I don't hate it. It's just it wouldn't be my go-to. What's your opinion, Humble? I think you said it belongs in pies, not on pies, which I love.
That is correct. Yes. Fruit belongs in a pie, not on a pie. 100%.
You know what? We're here to talk about the metals, guys, but every single time the food, the pizza, the knickknacks, everything always finds a way into the chat. We've got Silver Serpents saying Shallop's Pizza in Chaos, 24-inch extra large for about $24, but toppings are the dollars for that size. Wow, yeah, okay. Shallop's Pizza? What's a Shallop's Pizza? I'm not familiar.
Shallot is a cross between an onion and a garlic.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Well, there we go. Interesting comment. BBA says, question for Caravan, which I think you know this by now, Humble, but I'm Caravan to some that know me. When you getting the tattoo, the good old... Have you seen the tattoo I need to get, Humble?
Not yet, but I did hear about it.
You heard about it, yeah. I will be getting that tattoo. Truthfully, to answer that question directly, I'd say in the next 3 months. Give me a little bit of time. Everything got thrown aside. All my plans with the channel, anything I was going to do, such as get that tattoo, everything got thrown aside. So I need to book it. I will get it, and I'll keep you guys, as promised, in the loop. You're going to have to be patient with me, but I will get the tattoo of Little John holding a staff, almost trying to pull it back like a tug of war with a shark bite in the end of it. I will get that tattoo voted by you, I promise. Okay. Nemo says, anyone says pineapple is getting shanked. There you go, guys. Nemo is on the patrol. Shiny Silver. Question for Humble. Back to coins now, mate. You'd be glad to know. Humble, what's your favorite British coin? And Craven, what's your favorite US coin? You want to go first, mate?
No, you go first this time.
You got me. Favorite US coin. So I'll be honest, right? This might be a boring answer. I really do love the Type 1. Yeah, the Type 1 American Silver Eagles, but I also really like the peace dollars, 90% peace dollars. So is that the Type 1 there, bud? Yeah. So
yes, sir.
And that's my preference over the latter, the Type 2. It's just a preference. It's still a beautiful bullion coin. But my answer, Shiny, is, bullion-wise, it would be the American Silver Eagle Type 1. Numismatic, constitutional if you're in the US. The 90% peace dollar, I think, is beautiful. But I've got nothing against Morgans. So throw it over to you now. It's a good question, Shiny. Humble, what's your favorite British coin?
I'm a Britannia fan. I do love the Britannia. I really do. I feel that the U.S., when it comes to their artwork on their coins in the last 70 years, is boring in comparison to the rest of the world. I think the artwork on the Britannia is awesome. I like the small mark that you have on your coin itself for anti-theft or for anti-counterfeiting. But you guys got to fix your milking problem. You got to fix the milking problem. You know, that's the biggest thing with the Britannia is they milk.
Yeah. conversations I've had about that, because it does come up in conversation, is with the Royal Mint, of course. I'm not an expert. Apparently, it's because they don't clean the planchets. And for example, if you look at, let me give you an example. Beautiful coin, 4.9's fine. The silver maple.
Yes.
They don't have. You don't see that issue being mentioned with those. So maybe we can take a leaf out of their book. But the actual design, I've got to say, over Britannia, it's timeless. It's beautiful, and it's grown on me. And I appreciate that is the go-to bullion coin for investors in the UK because of its capital gains tax exclusion and benefits for people with that. So yeah, I do love a Brit. I'm a sucker for a Brit and sovereigns in the gold side. But yeah, really good answer, mate. I was expecting nothing else to come out of your mouth than Britannia with that. So yeah, great question. I love questions like that, guys, because especially when you've got myself and Humble on the live, you've got two sides here. You've got the American and you've got the UK. So it's interesting to hear the different dynamics. Jerry Mandarin says tomato is a fruit. Yes, it is. It's factual information. Thank you for sharing.
Okay. All right, Jerry, you got me on that. Tomatoes a fruit. Yes, I get it. It's on the pie. I understand that, but it's based on, it's not a topping. Okay, it's part of the base. But yes, you got me. Okay, you got me on that.
It's true. It's facts. Tomato is a fruit, but that's really funny. Silver Serpents, back to pizza. Here we go. I'm eating pineapple right now from the can, not on pizza. See, I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, that's acceptable too. I eat pineapple right out of the can. Just crush the rings with a fork and eat it. Yep, I'm down.
Yeah, 100% pineapple is lovely. Nemo's Numismatics. Mine was 20 years ago when the banks went down for 3 days and no one could access money. I'm not sure what that's referring to.
He's referring to the point of his stacking that made him stack or start stacking, I assume.
So yeah, I am like 15 minutes behind on the chat. I'm sorry. It's because I don't like missing anyone's comment. So because of that, more and more come through. I'm still there's questions coming through. So I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to try and catch up. So I'm going to whiz through them, and I'm going to let you answer most of them unless they address it to me. Is that okay, Humble? We'll fly through these questions.
Sure.
Thanks for putting questions in, guys. I'll get up to date with the chat because sometimes I'm not quite sure what you're referring to because it's behind. So crispy shiny things. Question: do you think the US has a more developed stacker society than the UK and Europe? Where I am, it's very much a niche hobby and outlets are really uncommon.
So it's really going to be regional, right? So people in Arkansas probably aren't going to stack as much as people in California or Washington or Florida or per se. Now, keep in mind, traveling across our country for the States is like traveling across all of the UK and or Europe in distance wise. You guys have so many different countries so close to each other, so it's all going to change on your region. I think percentage based wise, we might, but when it comes to population and density, maybe not. It really just depends. I've never. That's a good question. I've never actually given it that much thought. I do know that our population is bigger than yours, so based off of numbers, we will have a more developed one just because of the raw numbers themselves.
Yeah, good answer. I think what's great is, especially modern times today, where you're stacking in the US, some part of Europe, the UK, wherever it is, we all come together online in different platforms, different communities, different groups in these debates such as this, lives. We all share that passion and talk about it right here on a weekly basis, which I love being a part of and hosting. So yeah, it's great. And I think as these changes happen and the markets, do what they do, and the mainstream media gets more on top of it, focuses more on it, and the word gets out. Because right now we're still a minority of people that are in this and following it. I think there'll be a lot more new stackers entering the communities, and this whole niche, as it was described, will grow. I really do, and I'm excited to be part of that.
Oh, and it's grown substantially since I started.
Yeah,
There's more and more people that are doing it, and so the thing is that you can tell 100 people, and maybe one would be interested.
Exactly. Yeah. And I echoed this point last week, Humble. I said to everyone, just wherever you're at with your physical stack or whatever your goals are, just take a second to pat yourself on the back. Because if you're here, whether you've just brought your first 1 ounce silver or wherever you're at, congratulations to you just for being in the mindset of you want to do better with your money.
Oh, for sure.
You want to invest. So you are part of a very small percentage of people that are actually doing this. The fact you're here now, watching this live, getting involved, thinking about what's best to do, you're already a step ahead of like 95% of people. So well done on that point. That's what I would say.
You should walk taller, stand taller, breathe deeper, because you're taking a step in the right direction, whether you know you are or not.
Yeah.
The fact that you're taking that step and opening the door to a new part of your life, it's all about learning. It's all about growing, and you took a big step to grow. Congratulations.
That's it. That's it. Look after your stack, and your stack will look after you. Next question, and I love this question from Michael Will. This question is for you, Humble. And the question is, what's your favorite YouTube channel? Now, obviously, and it says here in the comment, obviously your favorite YouTube channel is Stacking with Craven, but I guess what would be your second favorite?
Well, I am part of a few different channels that I really do like to watch because of the knowledge base itself. Okay, stacking, stacking surfer. Okay, he's big over here. He's got like quite a few followers, quite a few. He's pretty big. He's knowledge based, so he talks about numbers, banks, things like that. Also, I follow Bald Guy Money. He's based out of Poland. He talks every Sunday at 7 a.m. my time. So that would be Saturday night for you guys at 9 p.m., I think, or 10 p.m. Because you're what? Behind?
It's currently just gone 20 to 9 p.m. So what is it for you right now?
You're ahead. So it would be 4 p.m. your time to watch.
There you go.
Right. But he only goes over graphs. He goes over things that have been previously happened. His predictions are 95% spot on when he talks about things. I get a lot of information from him as well. But I will tell everybody in chat, follow more than one channel, listen to more than one person, get more than one opinion before you make any decision on doing anything, because knowledge is power, especially in this industry, and especially what we're doing.
Yeah, 100%. 100% shared knowledge. And on top of that, do your own research. Don't do something because somebody tells you to, just because they've got loads of subscribers or whatever. Do something because you've researched it, you've weighed up the risk factor, best case scenario, worst case scenario, and you think this is right for you, affordable for you. And if you come up with a plan that works for you and your circumstances, and like Humble said before, if you stick to that at a steady rate over a long period of time, you will see such improvements. You will. Whether it's 1 ounce a week, 1 ounce, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Look at it over a 5-year period rather than I'm a month in and I've only got 2 or 3 ounces. Well, you're 3 ounces better off than what you were a month ago. Look at the small steps. They add up and time flies. I can't believe it's been a year since I started stacking. It's crazy.
Oh, for sure. That is one thing that it does. Time does fly. And like when I promote Constitutional, I tell people when you go buy 5 dimes, buy a 2. And the reason I tell you to buy a 2 is because there's nothing more depressing than looking at a partially filled tube sitting there telling me, hey, fill me. I need friends. And the accomplishment of getting to that 50 and then having an extra one to start your next 2, it's a wonderful feeling. It really is. It's a wonderful feeling.
That's so true. Nobody wants to look at a partially filled tube, and this is where that completionist part within all of us comes out. We like to fill tubes, fill boxes, and they're good goals to set, and it's fun. And I suggest you do that. I got there's one here actually which would probably fit the dimes. This was for shillings. This was made by Nerd UK, who does a fantastic job of 3D printing. I asked him for a red with tiger stripes, and he made that for me, and he's a legend for it. But this was to fit the shillings in, the 925 sterling silver shillings. And yeah, I could fill that one up, and half crowns and crowns, and it's a nice feeling, you know?
It really
seeing
is.
that progress. So there you go.
Accomplishment. Yeah, that progress.
Now, as you know, I'm trying to catch up with the chat. I'm halfway there. I've seen some hilarious comments. That's why you may have seen me smiling throughout whilst listening to you, Humble. This is Ian Atterbury who says, question for Craven, what shade of Just for Men do you use? that would be telling. I can't reveal all my secrets.
Mahogany. Mahogany.
There you go. We'll go with that. Mahogany. It's a new fringe job, turkey fringe. Yeah, I haven't been doing my hair like so the thumbnail's a bit of a lie with it, as I normally do, nice and spiked up and stuff. I've been a bit lazy, but you'll have to let me off. It's not too bad, I don't think. There we go. It's in the Constitution. Yeah, Constitution. BBA Caravan asked Humble to give us a ping. Humble BBA says give us a ping.
Okay. All right.
Let's do it. Let's have a ping.
This is my 10-ounce bar, my silver gold bull bar. It says build your wealth in ounces. I love this thing. And this is the bar that he's talking about. This thing sings. You guys ready? Here we go.
Sound money.
She sings pretty good. So
Yeah.
there you go, BBA.
The sound of silver. That's a nice sound. Yeah, thank you for the ping. There we go, BBA. Your wish is Humble's command. With a nice 10-ounce bar. We love to see those 10 ounces, which are, a lot more expensive than they were when I joined. It's crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Gerrymandering 6 says silver and gold is constitutional money, and a lot of people in America believe in that, in my honest opinion. Yeah. It's real money. It's what it is. It's real value.
It really is. And what a lot of people that are stackers don't realize is your guys' sovereign coins are actually got more silver in them than our coins do. We're 90%, you're at 925s for your sovereigns, right? So I mean, you have more purity in your silver than we do in ours when it came to the circulated silver. And I don't think that stackers give enough cred to the money from around the world, foreign silvers and things like that. I don't think we give enough credit to it, especially your guys' crystal softs. I mean, those things are great, and your gold ones are even better. Your guys' I love foreign gold. Foreign gold's beautiful. My favorite foreign gold piece is a 20 peso gold piece.
I was just about to say, when you said about silver from across the world, foreign silver, I love the pesos. They're lovely. Yeah. Mexican. They're beautiful.
Yeah, one of my subscribers gave me this one. He sent it to me. This is the oldest peso I have, but I have some older silver too. But I don't collect like the 10% ones. That's just not enough silver for me to justify the space. Did that make sense?
Yeah, because it's at the end of the day, storage can over time become an issue. It can become an additional cost. And if it's only 10% silver you're storing, for how much you'd need to make, 100%, mate. I think probably, I don't really own much of it. 50% is probably as low as I'd go on the pre-decimal stuff. I'm not really interested in anything less than that. But yeah. A question from Nerd. I'm interested in this one. Question for Humble. Have you ever tried gold panning?
I have. I gold pan all the time. Actually, here, let me show you, Nerd QK. This is some gold that I have panned myself in vials.
Really?
Yep. So this right here, actually, this here is a gram of gold that the gold baron gave me when I went down to his gold claim with him one time. And I did some panning down there and found some gold down at his gold claim. But he gave me this for trade, and I gave him an 85 prospector. So he traded this and he got a prospector. So he gave me that. But this here is some gold nuggets that I have panned and gotten out of my own stack. Just pulling out of dirt, pay dirts and things like that. So this here is about 2 grams of gold nuggets.
I think that's fascinating. That is the raw material right there, just taken.
This is about 5.5 grams of gold flakes and flour gold that I've panned as well. And as a matter of fact, it's funny that you bring that up. I'm going to send this because I do a few different talk shows. I do the Metal Mob on Sunday nights, my time at 9 p.m. Every third Saturday, I do a talk show with the Broke Stacker, and we were on his channel last night. So I'm going to send this off to the Broke Stacker, and he's going to melt me a little channel bar out of gold.
Nice. Yes. That's a really good idea. That'll look really good. How much is there in total? I know you broke them down individually. How much weight in gold is that total?
There's about 8 grams, 8.5 grams here, which after it gets melted and impurities come out, you're going to lose about 25%.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
So you'll get about 6.25 right in there bar. And it'll be a silver and gold mixed bar because I'm not going to take the silver out of it, but it will be pure. So once the silver gets separated from the gold, you'll have 999 gold and you'll have 999 silver.
I can't wait to see that. That's a really, really good idea.
I can't wait either. I'm totally stoked.
Yeah. You see some more questions, guys, and then about 9 o'clock, so in about 8 minutes, I will do the giveaway. We'll end on some predictions, and then we'll wrap up the show. I love having these chats, and Humble, your answers to these questions have been brilliant. I love hearing what you've got to say, and like once again, it's great having you on here, mate. And everyone in here, if I'm sure you have already, he's got a fantastic YouTube channel, and is on the lives like these as well. If you haven't, go and check out Humble Stacker. The link is in the description. Go and give him some love. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. And that would be really, really good because I've certainly enjoyed this conversation so far, mate.
I appreciate that. Thank you. No, and I appreciate the questions, you guys. I love answering questions like that. So let's grind through as many of them as we can before we do that gibby.
Yeah, that's it. So let's go through some more. So Brits and Sob's question: how many people have you got into stacking?
Oh, so that's a unique question, right? Because like I said, you can talk to 100 people and maybe one would be interested. But what I have found is I found more stackers out there that I didn't think were stackers by talking about stacking. So people that I didn't think were stackers actually are, right? So I found more stackers within talking about it than I have developed, but I'll be honest with you, I would probably say, I don't know, 15, 20. I've got people in the prospecting community that started stacking because of me. And I've got people in the stacking community that started going through pay dirt, gold and gold that way because of me. I'm kind of like a hybrid.
That's amazing, and you get a really good feeling out of it as well because, you know, you've had a positive influence on somebody, especially when they tell you a message like, "I'm so glad I started doing this because of you."
Yes.
You know, I don't go around advising people to do anything, but I can share my experience, and if that's enough to inspire someone to start their own stacking journey, then fantastic. A very close friend of mine who I've known for a number of years started stacking not too long ago because of me, knowing that I do it, seeing that I do the YouTube stuff, and it's going really well. started stacking, and is really happy they did. And for them, it's an alternative to putting money into a bank account for their daughter, and they're so glad that they're putting silver away instead, and maybe some gold. So yeah, it's a great feeling. I couldn't put an exact number on people, but that doesn't matter. It just, even just one makes me happy, you know.
That's it right there. That's why it was hard to tell you how many there was, because honestly, I don't know. But just the fact that one person changed their life by listening to something that I went through and decided to try it and change their life in a positive because of it. Yes, I'm right there with you. The fact that if one person has done it is more than I thought I would ever be able to reach to.
There we go. There we go. So, really interesting stuff. Hello to Andrew Mora, who's just joined the live. Good to see you. Question says, where are you from? I'm from the UK, England, and Humble. You are from the US. Whereabouts specifically, or do you not expose that?
Washington State.
There we go. Washington State. So there you go. People saying there's a weird noise coming through. Shiny Silver says the weird noise is Little John eating Caravan's knickknacks. I hope not. You know, I was saving those for later. But yeah, guys, you know, I love doing these questions. We have got a giveaway. We'll do that shortly. But I'm going to throw this over to you, Humble, for 5 minutes or however long it needs. What questions do you have, or would you have for me, if you were to ask me anything?
For you, yeah. Well, there are some questions that I wanted to ask you. So, do you have any 90% constitutional silver?
Trying to think, because a lot of the stuff I got at the start when I was really heavy on the numismatic stuff, I haven't got out for a little while. I have peace dollars. I know that for a fact. I think I have 3 or 4 of those. I have a Morgan dollar. I think I have, and it'll annoy you because there's not many. I have a few dimes. I wish it was a nice full tube like you've got, but not much. Not much of the American stuff anyway. I have plenty of the 925 sterling pre-decimal stuff, but yeah, I'd say not much for the 90%.
Okay. And I know that your 925 silver really got stripped out of population and circulation at a certain period in your time, right? So, like, there's not as much of it floating around as there is for our constitutional silver. You know, I can do some coin roll hunting and find some quarters and some dimes, where you could do some coin roll hunting for 5 weeks and not find anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, you won't find any. You know, you're not going to go find a crown or anything in circulation. You know, we've got the nickel stuff. You know, just the £1 coins, 50p's, 20p's. You know, you won't see it anywhere. Whereas I believe you could literally find still, maybe not much because people are on top of it, but you could still find in these coin hunts and you know, going through the rolls, you could still find silver just in change. Is that right?
Yes, just in your pocket change. Yes.
I find that incredible, and I would be checking everything that comes my way. I know over here you can check your change, but you'll be looking for, say, a rare 50p or like a £1 coin with a B on it or something. You wouldn't be looking for silver. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't. It's just not used.
Yeah. No, I get it. So not about metals, but what is your favorite back of a 50p?
Oh, that's a good question. See, I'm probably the wrong person to ask, just solely because I'm not huge on the 50p's. We have some absolute connoisseurs in the community. The Kew Gardens 50p, Barra just put, yeah, really, really nice. Now, there's one that I've seen, and I'm sorry if this disappoints you, but I just think it's funny. I don't collect the 50p's for one, but there's an offside rule 50p. So if you're a football fan, I just think that's hilarious. So there is that, and I would say that if I was going to have one, that'd be cool to get that one, I suppose.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So Raspberry sent me this.
Yeah, that's nice. It makes up the shield, the different pieces.
Yep. Chris printed the shield, and they just snap into place.
That's so cool. I love that you've got that over there in the US. Nice little memento. What do you think about our coinage, by the way?
I love the fact that your regular coins make the shield. I think that's amazing.
It is a
I
nice feature.
that is so like just to say, like I was telling you, our coins are boring in comparison to a lot of world coins. You know, when it comes to the artwork, when it comes to the themes, like you guys have collector 50p coins that you go for that have special backs. I have some Peter Rabbit ones. I have
Yes.
yeah, you know, and I think that's great. It's different, you know.
Well, since you mentioned this, Humble, you literally asked the question to me, but people surging in the comments with their 50Ps. Do you want to hear some of the favorite 50Ps?
Sure.
First Theft, 1947, Final Theft. BBA says D-Day 50p. Michael says Q. Shiny says the Salmon. That's a popular one. The Public, where has this gone here? Public Libraries 50p says Glass Velo. Yeah, Nerd UK Battle of Britain. That is a nice one. I was thinking of saying that. EEC 1992, 1993 50p. Shiny Loves the Pride 50p. He's finally got his hands on one. Well done. Offside rule 50p is legendary, says Jerry. Yes, 100%. That was my choice. But yeah, there you go. Some really cool answers coming through. They're very popular, Humble.
Yeah. Well, they're awesome. The fact that you have all those different backs on your coinage, you know, and then you look at our 50-cent piece. It's been the same boring thing since '63. You know, the last, 63 is when Franklin was the last year of the Franklin. And then it went to the Kennedy. And the Kennedy was only supposed to be a commemorative for a year or two run. Did you know that? And it's been running for like the last 60 plus years.
Wow. Now,
Yeah, just crazy. You know, it was a popular design and they just kept running with it. And they've been running with it since.
I guess that if it's not broken, there's no need to fix it, right?
I guess, but like we gotta mix things up a little bit. That's why the 250-year commemorative quarters and 50-cent pieces are out now. They decided to change it up a little bit. Now it is a commemorative piece. We'll see what they do next year if they go back to the same boring designs. But I think our U.S. Mint needs some flavor.
If you could choose like a custom design, your choice, what was going to be on that? What portrait or the specific design? What were you going with?
Well, times being what they are, I believe a lot of the older coins where they had France protecting her baby against the lion, depicting us breaking away from England, things like that. The older traditional styles were really nice. But we decided to come up with things like DC coins instead, which is absurd. You know?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, I think I just think that we need some new fresh love in there, something different.
As you said,
I
some
like
flavor.
we need flavor. We need some flavor other than comic books.
Well, guys, I love all this conversation. This has been a really sort of relaxed, very fascinating conversation. But I do think, Humble, I don't know if you agree. I think the audience deserves to get their hands on at least a chance of winning this giveaway we showed earlier. What do you think?
I think we should knock it out. Let's find out who the lucky winner is.
Okay, so I'll repeat the rules. I'm not going to show you it all again, but it does include some fractional silver. There's a 1 gram silver Valcambi, a 1/10 silver Britannia, courtesy of Silver Stag Stacker, an abundance of poker chips, currency over here, some limited edition ones. Guys, stop putting numbers in the chat. This will only be valid when I say go. Just Humble, people are just spamming numbers. What are we gonna do? Everyone's just
Oh, all right, you guys. So hey, we need a stop point. So let's stop right now. No more spamming numbers.
I tell you what. How about I'm gonna get it ready. I'm gonna put go ready to send us a message. So it has to be after that comment from me. Is that fair?
That is more than fair.
Yeah. Crispy Shiny Things has put like 9 trillion billion gazillion. I'm afraid it has to be a number between 1 and 30, and it has to be after I say go, which I haven't done yet.
Yep.
Guys. Well, you keep spamming, but it'll be after that. So I'm going to need your help on this, Humble, when I do this, because it's the first person after I say go. Okay, people are still spamming.
I get you. You're good.
Yeah.
The first person that hits the number after Craven says go will be the winner because we'll have multiple people trying for the numbers. So until Craven hits go in the chat, no numbers will be counted for, and I'll be the one tracking the numbers. So
there you go.
There is a delay. There's a huge one, Jerry. Quit putting in numbers.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to put go, and then we'll keep a track of the numbers and we'll announce the winner. So I've got this here. And once again, guys, on this screwed up piece of paper, this note, there is a number between 1 and 30. I know what that number is because that number was given to me before the live from Humble himself, and that will determine the winner. So Humble, I would like you to give me a countdown from 3, and then when you say go, I'm going to press go.
All right, so here we go, chap. We got 3, 2, 1, go.
Should be in there. There we go. Yeah, go, guys. Let's see. First one to get the number. I'll try and keep my eyes on this. Right. Oh, God, I can see numbers coming through. If you see it, Humble, let me know. I think I've seen it. Stop. I've seen it. We have a winner.
That was fast. That was
wow.
Really
let me just do some adjudication here.
I'm scrolling back right now. Give me one quick second.
I think the first person that got that number was Jerry.
It was.
Was it Jerry?
Yes. Spamming Jerry. Jerry, you are the winner of the swag pack. Congratulations, Jerry.
Well done, Jerry. Massive congratulations. You've won yourself a nice bundle here, my friend. Commiserations to everyone else. I'm really sorry. I wasn't expecting someone to get the number straight away. Maybe I should have made it between 1 and 50 or something, but just to prove this is not rigged, okay? On here, people will say rigged anyway. You know what it's like. But on this, number 21. So, Jerry, you're the winner. So all I need you to do, my friend, is drop me a message either on Discord. If you have that, you can do that through Stacker Social. Or if you're not in part of that, it's absolutely fine. My email is simply stackingwithcraven@gmail.com. It's in my YouTube banner. Send me a nice email with your details, your address, and where to send it. And when I can soon, I will send you that prize. Nice bundle there. Congratulations.
That was quite the bundle. Lots of poker chips, lots of stickers, lots of street cred in that bundle there.
There is. So Jerry's in the Discord. Yeah, drop me a message on Discord, mate. I will send that out in the week for you. Maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, if not before. But I'll be as quick as I can for you. So yeah, people saying congrats, really, really good. I've really enjoyed this one, guys. We're coming up towards the end. The last thing I want to do, there's 2 things. I want to do a quick round of predictions with Humble on the price of silver and gold and you guys in the chat. And then I want to get a question off Humble for next week's special guest. That's all I want to do before we basically wrap things up and go on to another week. So silver and gold, I cut you off before, Humble, when you were talking because I wanted to save it till the end. I'm going to leave it to you to do your explanation. I won't ask more of a question than this. Give me your prediction for silver and gold spot price by the end of 2026.
Okay, so I mentioned that I predicted that silver is going to be at $200 an ounce, and I'm predicting that gold's going to be in the $62 to $65 range. And the reason I'm predicting that is because you guys saw what this last run did, right? My prediction is that the new floor for silver has already been established at $75, $80, right? That's the new floor for silver, okay? And you have to understand, in order for it to keep doing what it's doing, it's got to go up, level out, ride it for a while, go up, level out, ride it for a while, and then go up. And it's going to be a step progress. And I'm thinking over this next year, we're going to see $10 to $15 swings in the posi for us. Now, what does that mean for us as stackers? Less metals we get when we go buy metal, right? Because especially if you do a certain dollar amount, I do a certain dollar amount when I go, and I buy a certain amount of metals when I can. So that's what I do.
That's very interesting.
Yes. So it's just going to affect like that. But that's my prediction. $200 silver and about $6,500 gold.
I'm going to be asking every guest every week for a while what those predictions are. We'll see how that changes over time. I'd love to have you on again, Humble, at some point when it works for you, bud, and maybe your prediction will change. Who knows? And we'll see come the end of the year, guys, how close the special guests got. I'm going to give you my prediction, but I'd like you guys in the chat, as we're coming towards the end here, drop a comment below and tell me what you think, whether it's in dollars or British pounds or whatever currency from where you are in the world. What do you think the spot price of silver and gold will be come the end of 2026, based on everything that we have spoken about on this podcast today? All the things that influence the price. Where do you think it will be? What do you think is going to be the price? And bearing in mind, that is a long way away. It's like 9 months away. So a lot could change. Be open-minded. Let me know what your predictions are. I'll wait for the chat to update if there is a delay. Starting to come through now. That's great. I'm going to give you my prediction. I think silver will be at 140 British pounds per ounce come December, the end of December this year. And I think gold will be about £5,250 per ounce. Call me crazy, don't call me crazy. It's just a prediction. Let's see what you guys are saying, and we'll get Humble's opinion on your predictions. So, BB Stacking says predicting or prognosticating. Just predicting, just your prediction. Michael Will says $150 silver, $6,500 gold. Okay, not too far off what you were saying there, Humble, really. Nerd UK, £120 silver, £5,000 gold. Yeah, close to me. I was a bit higher on the silver. Blast Fellow says silver £100, which is $133. Thanks for the conversion. I really appreciate that. And gold to be at $4,750, which is about $6,340. There we go. What do you think about that one, Humble?
Yeah, that's pretty bold. I think you're a little light on the silver side, but I mean, I think that we're going to be about, for the GSR for silver, I think we're probably going to be the 35 to 38 range by the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it as well, looking at the ratio specifically. Ian asked, we didn't give us a number, the world's #1 sniper. He just says gold higher, silver bit higher. Yeah, I mean,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Of course. That's probably the most accurate prediction there is.
The sniper has never been wrong with any of his predictions, and he will win. Shiny Silver says £125 an ounce for silver, okay, and gold at $5,500 per ounce. Mr. E says, thank you for the stream. I really enjoyed it. Mr. E, thank you so much for being part of the stream, for your comments, for the super chat, and just being a part of it. I really do appreciate every single one of you, and I appreciate Humble for being a fantastic special guest. This is so much fun, and we do this every week at 7 p.m. Let's get some more predictions in before we come to an end. And don't forget, Humble, before I end this, I'm going to be asking you for a question for next week's special guest. So get your thinking hat on. If Fiat's buggered, then it will be valued on what you can buy. There you go. Well, Fiat's going down the pan as far as I'm concerned. Crispy Shiny Thing says £150 for silver, £4,000 for gold. Okay, yeah. I mean, gold's at 4,000 right now. Unless that's gold's at 4,000 already. So I really can't see it. I mean, who's to say? I can't see gold staying the same, though. I really can't. Not in a year. I really, really can't. Not with what's going on in the world. But what would I know? Don't listen to me. It could be completely wrong. Things will be a worse mess locally. Mr. E, it's not what gold or silver is worth. It's what everything else is worth.
And that's true. That's true because those metals don't change in value because they're sound money. It's what the fiat currency does is what values where gold and silver is, right? So he was
Yeah.
100% right.
And it's the choice that we make to, have our currency as silver and gold than to have it in some notes that's just a piece of paper. What would you rather hold in your hand? Pieces of
Yeah.
paper with numbers on, perceived value, or actual value?
No,
You
give me
make
the
that
weight.
decision.
Give me the
Give me
weight.
the weight.
Yeah.
People saying the ads are terrible and people getting ads. I'm really sorry if that's the case. I've never done this through StreamYard before. It's my first time. So hopefully that'll be fixed for next week, and I will remove the ads. There shouldn't be ads showing up. If there is, if you were here at the start, I had to restart the show really quickly, start it through StreamYard again, first time. So please forgive me. Let me off if you are seeing ads. All I can say is I'm really sorry. It's not intentional. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Electric Bloke, Crispy, no ads if you watch YouTube on the Opera browser. There you go. There are ways, but yeah, it's not my intention for there to be ads. As we know, Humble, I had some technical issues at the start, so I kind of restarted it quite quick. I didn't go through all the settings. I wanted to be live for you guys. So yeah. Jerry Mandarin, £96 silver, okay, £5,900 gold. So a big increase on the gold, not so much on the silver. I think you're a bit light on the silver there. I really think we're seeing at least £100 an ounce for silver. And this is by the end of the year, by the way. For all we know, silver could be 85, £90 an ounce by the end of next week. It could be. It could already be there. Shiny says 1 ounce of silver equals a loaf of bread and 5 little fishies by 2030.
It could.
It could. Ian Atterbury says, I pay for ad-free and haven't seen any. There you go.
Yeah, I'm part of YouTube Premium, so I don't see any ads ever.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell anyone to get YouTube Premium just so they don't get ads. It's all part of how it works. But yeah, we'll try and make sure there's no ads on it next time, guys. And that'll be that. So yeah, last one, Silver Serpents. I think in US dollars at the end of the year, $150 silver, £6,000 gold. Humble, just on that last prediction there from Silver Serpents.
Yeah, I did, and that's it's kind of right in line with me. If you add another 500 on the gold and 50 for the silver, I mean, you're kind of right in that spot. I mean, we're going to be pushing closer to 200, if not tipping 200 by the end of the year, in my opinion.
I think so.
We still have a lot of stuff that's going on that is making it so our prices are down right now. So once all this stuff ends and is abolished as quick as it can be, the prices will stabilize and you'll see silver go up again. I do want to answer a question though. Michael asked a question: what does Humble think about possibility of Trump issuing a gold-backed treasury bond? Well, there's one thing I can tell you about governments is you do what they do, you don't do what they say. And
I literally said that exact quote last week on my previous podcast. It's so true.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they're telling you to do one thing and they do the other, why are you doing the one thing? You know
what
I mean?
they tell you to do is to benefit what they're actually trying to do.
Yes. They're coming up with all kinds of ways to change and make our debt be passed off to what other countries could possibly buy because they're not buying our U.S. debt anymore with the dollar. So they're coming up with more appealing options for other people to come up with so they would buy into the debt. That's all that is. And I think that it's a horrible ploy for what they're trying to do. The only thing that's going to get us out of our debt is to stop spending the money that they spend on an annual basis. You guys, we don't need to spend the money we do. And every president has doubled the amount the previous president has spent. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Mr. E says following the worth, not the money. Yeah. Stick to value, real value, not the money, Really good point. And guys, this has been another. I really enjoyed this conversation. I thoroughly have from start to finish. Yes, I had some technical issues at the start, but we got going, and I think it's been really good. Thank you so much to you, Humble, for coming on. And literally, dropping me a message saying you want some company at the last minute. So I really appreciate you, and you've been fantastic, mate. You really have.
I appreciate you having me. It's been a blast answering questions for chat. And you guys, I have a channel, so if you have more questions, you can always email me. I have a Discord channel as well, the Humble Stacker. So if you guys are interested and you have more questions, just shoot me a message. I loved my time here. So thank you very much for having me, Craven.
It's been a pleasure. I can see comments saying great guest. Absolutely. BBA sharing the link. Thank you so much to Humble Stacker's YouTube channel, guys. If you've enjoyed the show tonight, I certainly have. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. He's not too far away from 1,000 subs. Let's make that happen as soon as possible. And before we wrap this up, guys, I want to get a question from Humble, which I will ask next week's special guest. Do you have a question that I can ask next week's guest, Humble?
Yes. So I have that I can't chew right now because of my dentures.
Yeah.
And still, and so I haven't had solid foods in months. Okay. So my question to the next guest is, when's the last time you had steak if you're a meat eater, and what kind of steak was it?
That's amazing. Knowing my luck, it'll be a vegetarian. It'll be a vegan.
Okay, so if it is a vegetarian, then you can ask a dessert question. Same thing. What's your favorite dessert, and when's the last time you had it?
Okay, love that. Brilliant question. Something outside the box as well. I love those types of questions, guys. That's going to be a wrap for tonight. Episode 30. What a pleasure it's been with Humble Stacker. Huge shout out to him. Make sure you do check him out. Hit the like button as well if you haven't already. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. We will be live every Sunday at 7 p.m. I love doing this. It's so good to be back. Thank you to every single one of you that gets involved. I hope you all take some good momentum into next week. Go smash it. And we'll be here at the same time with another guest. Maybe they act us back as well. We'll see how things go. And yeah, there we are. Stack
like
what
I always
you can,
say,
where you can.
Yep, stack what you can, where you can, you guys.
Absolutely love it. And yeah, Queen Nancy said she subbed. Brilliant stuff. Guys, we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
See you later.